welcome back to War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. Um, Here we are on May 19, 1943, as the Allies making another push. Things have gotten kind of set up for me to start making a push in New Georgia, as well as I'm about to pull the trigger on um, at I want to say Timor. Oops, I forgot to look at what damage we caused, if any. Probably none. All right. Let's see what we got going on in the air action. Okay, we got some cancellations there, but not sure what the story is. I think I think all my heavies there in Burma are chilling out, recovering some aircraft that have been damaged or replaced, getting everything kind of in peak condition. I don't know how many days it's going to take us to do that, but that's what we're doing there. So we're not necessarily being very active right now. Now this I wasn't sure about, but we decided to go in. He's got some Oscars covering because he wants to cover. This is actually just 100% guess. He wants to cover the base as his aircraft recover their damage and he can get out of there. 100% conjecture, like I'm saying. But so that's where the Oscars come into play, is covering the base while his aircraft repair, because he can't get them otherwise out. But let's okay, so none of our bombers were destroyed. Oh, we destroyed. Okay, I'll take it. Okay, so we swept for ourselves. We may lose some of these on the return trip. I did not want to lose out on the opportunity to bomb that base, so we're coming in with some more aircraft here. We shot down the last Oscar with defensive fire, and we destroyed a Sally on the ground. So whatever was damaged on the ground is being destroyed. Well, I mean, it's possible he didn't evacuate, but if I were him, I would have evacuated the aircraft that could evacuate. Because I can tell you, I've been on the receiving end of those bombardments, destroying my aircraft enough times to not want to have that experience. So yeah, as soon as I can, I evacuate. In the meantime, the problem I have as the aggressor is my ships are too far away from his base. By the time we turn around and go back, all of his aircraft are probably going to be evacuated. But then again, we had a lot of a lot of damage hits on his aircraft, so it's possible that they're going to be there in repair status for quite some time. All right. So yeah, we're not gonna. I still wanted to bomb his troops there in Burma, so I'm not sure if we're gonna go in the afternoon or not. Nope, never mind. Even that's done. Wow, that was a quick air segment. Well, I got port size 2 on Onatoa. Um, yeah, I guess we can take a minute to look at our air losses. Not really much happened, but we'll take a quick look maybe. Um, don't bank on it. Let me see if there's anything to report. All right, try to be brief here. So Kandari has no aircraft there that we can see. Now, I believe I read that the only thing that shows up on air bases um, to recon's eyes are aircraft that are repaired, ready to go. So it's possible that whatever's not showing up is just damaged. It's also possible they repaired quickly and got him out of there. He has his service rating on his aircraft is not as high as mine, so it should be easier to get repaired and get out of there. That said, I mean we did significant damage, so I don't know right off, but um, but I can show you, and our cruisers are still here. That means they still have to get here, replenish, get some fuel, and ammunition, and then we can go back out to Kindari um, again, or we can just beeline to Dili. I'm not sure, but let's take a look at this because I pulled this up real briefly. We had one ops loss, and he had 5 total, which is pretty good ratio. It's not a significant quantity, but the ratio is good. 4 Oscars, 1 Sally. We saw that one get hit on the ground. So really only 2, our bombing raid really only accounted for 2, but then you could say maybe all 5 are due to bombing Kindari. And then for us, we just lost, well, the usual C-47. And that's it. I mean, did we lose the pilot? No. So we're good to continue on, and I don't know how that popped up, but that's kind of unfortunate. Real quick, last sunk day. So yeah, here's a couple things we sank a few days ago. I seem to not all dates. Uh, I seem to be recently made aware of the Kako, but it seems like we knew this from a long time ago. In any case, apparently in our naval battle where we had a couple of battleships dueling with his cruisers, we sank this Kako. Well, or it sank on its way trying to return to somewhere to get repaired. And for all the based on the knowledge I have here, it looks like he didn't scuttle it. So that's worth 40 points. All right, well I'm gonna move on. Won't sit here and dwell on any of this. So here we go to May 20. Uh, okay, let's see here. Where are we at? May 20, 1943. I kind of showed you some things um, that transpired last turn, and we got a night bombing where some confusion and getting off course, etc. So we're getting our basically our navy version of the Liberators in here. Let's just get through this. It's a night bombing. It's not going to be anything worth watching. And he loses some zeros trying to defend his base. It's probably not worth, honestly, it's probably not worth sending up fighters to get shot down because my bombs are all going to miss. Now, having said that, I should remember that the fighters could be causing my bombers to miss because they're interrupting the proper pathing and so forth. All right. My Australian cruisers should be back in Darwin. I'm gonna send him back out for one more run at Kandari, see if we can get lucky again. He may be onto us and keep that from happening, but I'm gonna try it anyway. All right, so it looks like he's letting us bomb his troops. He probably doesn't think we're doing enough damage to worry about it, which is probably true. So yeah, I'm strengthening. It looks like he had some recon over Numan Numan. Now I'm not gonna be able to say it. We'll cover that later. But yeah, that new base I have at South Georgia. Um, I believe that's right. I keep saying that because I think it's right. But anyway, I think that that base there, he's been looking at us and probably as a result sees some of our ships, our transport task forces. But I do have fighter cover there. I've got P-38s and F-4Fs. I think it's F-4Fs, but anyway. Man, this is getting beat up. I really need these anti-aircraft guns to be in there ASAP. All right, we do nothing here with moderate rain, but looks like we're probably at least beating up the morale and whatnot of these guys. Hmm, doing a little damage with that run. Man, too many cancellations here. I believe if not this turn, next turn we'll have Kusai Island built up to a 5, and I've already got heavy bombers I'm putting there. I'm probably going to try to get one more squadron into the base, and we can just start bombing truck. Now, those daylight raids are going to be painful if we want to attempt that, but... So, here's what's happening. As he advances up this road, we're trashing him. Not necessarily in numbers here, but his fighting combat effectiveness is going to be very low. I don't know if he's going to charge in and do an assault anyway, but we'll be ready for him when he gets there. And I can stop bombing him once I feel like we're dug in well enough to handle whatever troops he has coming. I believe he's sending some more tanks. I can talk about that if I remember when we get around to it. But I believe he's sending more tanks toward us. But they're crossing some rough terrain right now on the way. Ooh, we take some casualties here. Both take casualties, but this one's destroyed. That's not that's not ideal. Okay, just in time. I say just in time. We brought over some bomber heavies just in case. I mean, just because I knew it was close. I wasn't sure if it was going to flip to size 5 or not, but there we go. And we'll take some time to talk about this turn and also hopefully the upcoming or near future. Okay. Got some kills here. I think these are, yeah, um and the bombers. um I I can't think straight. I just went. I just got home and cleaned up from a workout, so my brain isn't quite 100% just yet. But no, I was just gonna say the basically the defensive guns from these bombers are actually getting some kills here. Not quite aces, but there they go. Let's see. Okay. We got some repairs. The Portland, I think we have a couple of cruisers here at Brisbane. I can I also have destroyers. I can literally throw together another surface combat task force and go raiding wherever. I don't have a I mean maybe even truck. I don't have a specific thought in mind yet, but this is what I was thinking of doing as I was wrapping up last turn. So now that this is repaired, I'm going to see what else I can gather together. If there's anything else that needs to finish up repairs, and maybe we can go out and have some fun. Um, all right, we're trying to get our um, this HQ, Air HQ, up to Kusai, really. Uh, because I'm thinking, I don't know if this is true, but I'm thinking it can help us with the base statistics. As well, of course, it's going to bring over some air aviation support. But if it can improve like the administration of the base, that would be good. Let's see, keep going down here. I'm kind of scrolling and I don't like that because that takes too long. I like just doing page down. So let me go back to what I was doing there. Um, all right, and I think we're at the bottom now. So I've got some supplies transported, but you can see we have some aircraft issues. These Wellington 1Cs that we don't get anymore are disappearing. Um, so we're running into some problems. And yeah, Dimapur, that's cool. All right, so the Wasp takes some replacements. We must have lost something. I guess I saw something up here with a V. Maybe it's further up, but anyway, moving on. Okay. Yeah, we just got the lone cargo ship. Okay. Okay. These are not coming back online very quickly, but anyway, I think we can just jump into the statistics and then I'll talk about some things. All right, so we lose 7 total, but he loses 10. Man, these ops losses. We lost something to flak. I can't remember if we saw that in a combat result or not, but let's take a look here. 10. I'm going to say 1-0 less, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I lost a lot of zeros covering truck, and that's what I'm talking about. Unless you have a really good night fighter, I probably wouldn't fly Cap. I'd just let him bomb and hope he doesn't do too much damage. Having said that, now I'm going to have some more squadrons coming in, and that's going to be problematic for him. All right, and an Oscar and a Sally for ops. All right. we lost a couple Warhawks to ops. These, it could be anything, but they're probably sweeps from the sweeps. Dauntless, let's see. This is probably the Dauntless that we replaced there on the Wasp. Just coming down here to the, this is what we lost to flak. It was actually a recon. These are my recon Hurricanes, and that's unfortunate. Okay. Now, pilots, one killed, maybe the recon pilot. And no ships. We didn't encounter, no sub encounters this time. Now, well, let's see. Okay, nothing to show here. I don't think. But trying to think. Yeah, let me talk about the subs for a second. So we don't have a lot of sub action, but I was thinking about this. It's not realized yet. A lot of these subs here are because I was preventing um like a strike force coming down, hitting us down in here, particularly when we were trying to get into Tulagi and Guadalcanal and things. But also, that might date back to when we were taking Ndeni and stuff as well. So a lot of these subs have been patrolling here for some time. But really, I think this is kind of um, not a it's a waste of good sub patrols. So I'll be updating these patrol zones, probably all these shortly. I don't mind covering for this island here, maybe even down here. I just don't see him raiding this far south, but I don't mind covering like out to out in somewhere up here, but basically further north. And what I'm noticing is as I push back and start taking stuff, my sub patrols are going to be further and further north for two reasons. One, because they'll have the range now, although I do have a good range to get into some places. But another reason is because there's no distant bases for him to supply. So we're going to be like really locking down, for example, this area. We're going to start seeing more and more and more hits of his cargo ships, tankers, whatever. I can lock down the Philippines and so forth. But the but first things first, I need to secure these bases here and then push back, set up forward sub bases, and that'll help with the Dutch subs and whatnot, is to get some of these, capture some of these ports that I can throw some ASs on, sub tenders, and then like this right here, I I have 4 engineers. Um, I'm gonna leave that for now. Eventually maybe I'll bring in some real engineers and we'll make a go of building these up. But I'm not. These will be rear bases very quickly because I intend to take Dili and Kindari. What's the one up here? But Monado. Let's turn this back off. And Ambon. Once I start getting some of these bases, these ones will have no value. A couple points, but otherwise no value. But I was talking about subs, so let's get back. That's why I started. That's why I was getting digressing and so forth. But let's go back here. I just want to point out. So Kusai base is 18 away from truck. So we have a couple of B-24 D1s sitting here, squadrons. I've got one lone bomber somewhere. I'll find him and get him over there, being repaired or maintained, whichever. But I'm gonna push forward another squadron because you can see here we could fit one more here, and that's what I'm talking about, getting an HQ here. I'm wondering if getting an air HQ here will give us higher numbers here. I I've seen things personally how this game works, and I haven't done enough reading, but from what I've experienced playing this game, is air HQs do impact these numbers here. So we'll find out for sure soon enough because we're picking up from Tarawa, and then you might wonder, or maybe you don't care, where the aviation support's going to leave here and go somewhere else. But that's okay because I intend to bring some bombers with me, and that'll help uh, take care of that problem. Well, okay, but yeah, we'll start being able to do some stuff to truck, and then the we've got some troops coming. It's not this. This is just an AVD, but we do have troops coming that are going to unload here, and we're going to launch an assault on Quadraline, and um, that'll be interesting. Because probably what's going to have to happen for this to be successful is I will have to do some land bombing, ground bombings in all these islands to make them wonder which one I'm gonna go for. But because I want to ground bomb, then when and maybe do a cycle and keep cycling, and then my goal is to get my battleships and just as my as I'm coming up here, maybe as I'm unloading or whatever, um, have my battleships do a couple runs and just smash that and then unload and we're good to go. Okay, I'm went a little too far, a little bit overzealous to get past this or to get on with it. But here's Namatanai. You can see his detection is 4 of 10, so he's taking a look. He's peeking in on us. He doesn't have any naval search spotting us, but when you do recon, you do naturally see some things that are sitting here. I'm not 100% sure how much he sees. Um, Maybe if they're docked, you see more. Because if he's reconning, he's looking for things docked. These are technically at sea, I think. But maybe not. Maybe if they're unloading, they're up close to the island, and so therefore they're considered at sea. I can't tell from this screen if it's at sea or not. But anyway, I don't want to sit here and play around with this too much. But yeah, we're certainly not docked, I can tell you that. But we're probably not at sea because we're bumping up against island to unload these troops. Um, it looks like we started unloading, but we've got a lot still to unload. But you can see here we've got the 37th Infantry. This parachute is probably going to just chill out here. I have no specific goal for them. We're going to bring the Marine Regiment with us. Basically, anything with Kavieng here, we're going to head up. Meanwhile, we're taking advantage that we've got a lot of engineers here. We're hopefully bringing more, but because of due to the number of engineers here, we're expanding this base already. I would love to get this up to one, get some fighters here, just providing nice, decent cap. But here's the problem: I have 0 aviation support, so I got to get that going as well. Just a small little something that can um, take care of some fighters. All right, and my battalions are like doing this wide sweep. I don't want him to know we're coming. If I moved northwest, he would spot us and he would know we're probably. I mean, if he saw the little pip, he'd know we're coming to this base here. So what I'd prefer to do, as soon as I get here, I'm gonna send one guy here, one guy here, and the other guy is gonna go straight here. Because I want to have all 3 battalions surrounding this place. Then I can do an amphibious invasion, and he'll surrender. He'll have to surrender. And then I don't know how much I'm going to march. I'll probably uh, I'll probably let them rest at least. The battalions, bring them together maybe here at Dagua, and then I've got amphibious forces prepared for Hollandia, and then maybe work our way back to capture these two. I don't know. Got I trying to. This is a big map, and there's a lot of bases to take, and I'm trying to stay ahead so that I've got things already planning for future things. But it's just one of the things slowing me down is we haven't had a midway. I haven't sank four of his fleet carriers. So I until I and then Coral Sea before that they sank another one. That's a total of five less fleet carriers by for sure by now, if not more. I haven't studied all of the battles 43 and beyond, he but certainly we'd be in better shape if we had sank five fleet carriers. That's I'd be a bit more aggressive. That said, I can still be aggressive. I just need to get my carriers up here, which they're heading here. Which, by the way, that's what we got here. So we're one hex away. I'm going to station them here, and then we're ready to do anything up in here. In fact, now they're close enough that if I spot something coming from truck to harass us here, we'll come out to play. But also, I am not only I'm not only going for Kaviang. I'm just doing that. That's my initial strike because I can do this and march up. But Manus is coming soon as well as Weewak. But Weewak I could invade and just sit there and we could look at each other, maybe bombard. But Weewak is something I want to, like I said, I want to position my troops around, keep them contained, and so force them to surrender. Dealey, what I'm going to do is my cruisers should be back, and I'm going to shoot them out one more time. If there are anything sitting here that was damaged but didn't get evacuated, we'll hit it, and then we'll invade and bombard there at Dilly. I don't know. Maybe we could just go for Dilly now. I think we made our point here, and he's probably pulling out. I don't know, but we are flying a recon, and he has no aircraft there. So that tells me, but where did he put him, right? Madado or, I mean, who? It's hard to know. I mean, he could have put him here even. I don't know what he has here. But yeah, moving on. I could uh, overdo this communication. Okay, this is what I was talking about tanks moving. Um, I think he's moving them to Chiang Mai, and then he's gonna march them up here to help. And if that's the case, we'll be ready because we've got two tank brigades coming, in addition to the three or four infantry brigades we're gonna have here holding the line. Um, Still am not seeing British Infantry Section 43. Yeah, I'm probably going to take a minute here. Okay, I'll quickly. So we're going to be another 2+ turns to get over here. But that's okay. I mean, this is pretty strong. He's moving very slowly because we're just knocking him out of move mode and so forth. I wish this would repair quicker. All right, let's take a look. Oh, that's not what I want to look at. I want to look at this, the pool. What do we got? Infantry squad. That's what I'm looking for. Let's go for British. Okay. Let's go name just to simplify for my brain. We have 35 right now. We get 20. Well, I'm not sure what this means. We produced in a month 20, but the build rate is only 12. I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, So it'll be a while. It's going to be a long while before we get these 43 sections. Um, we'll just have to make do with what we got because we have to have over 100 in each of these spots. This is, yeah, 108. Well, all right. But we're going to keep bombing these guys. Like I say, I don't mind bombing them all the way up this road, just making it annoying. He's going to take forever to get here. When he finally gets here, we'll be hopefully dug in. Still nothing yet, but we'll hopefully be dug in. And then I'll probably stop bombing, or at least daily, because I really need to get back to bombing these bases too. Pegu's almost repaired, so we'll hit that with our heavies. We got some heavies in the area. By the way, speaking of heavies, we've got six squadrons of heavies back here. Okay, no, four squadrons of heavies, and then these two B-25Cs, which I need to get these guys. I'm not sure why I haven't already. I need to get these guys out, and I will tell you the B-24Ds. I'm waiting for more replacements because I want to fill these up, but so I'm just training for now and taking advantage that they're in a place that they train rather quickly. Okay, with that, let's look at China real quick. There's not really much to talk about except for our poor troops that are just hammered, no supplies. I mean, it's pretty grim here. If he came in here and attacked, he would just totally wipe us out. Even if these are like some Chinese um, turncoats, they still would come in and trash this. So I'm not sure what he's doing there, but I'm looking forward to get my aircraft here. It's this bad boy is heading to Puchang. But first, we're gonna march to Tuyun, take the rail. Likely, I'll have to think from here is 7, and it's mostly major roads. From here, it's also 7, but it's not all major roads. So I'll probably go to Changsha and then march. Because I own this, I can go this route. So that's going to be good. All right. So first though, we got to take the long, but at least this is all major roads. So we'll get there like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Let's say 16 days. We got to pack, ride the rail. That's going to be another, let's say, 5. So 21. I mean, this thing is going to take a month to get over here. We'll be over there. It might be beginning of July when we're established, ready to go. All right. Well, I've taken enough of your time. I will revisit up here. So you see it's relatively static in this area. But right here, we pinched these armored cars. You already know all this. But these regiments I split up because seems like they require less supplies if they're broken up. So we're sending the brigade here, and the rest of the guys are gonna go doing some um, partisan partisan activities. Yeah, I think that about does it. I'm trying to, you know what? I think I'm gonna go this way. I know they're coming this way. I was gonna come take this, but there's all this rail here that he wouldn't even notice, except for he'd see us take that. So I feel like that's a waste of a guy. So okay. So the reason I wasn't going here in the first place is I thought I was going to slink through. I was going to get my cavalry and cut through and take this. But then I noticed he had all these troops in this area. So I turned tail and ran because, why? Well, I think my thought, I don't know right now, but I think my thought was to come up here and come around the back, behind, because he's trying to cover every hex, which of course makes him thin, but also at the same time, it makes it hard to do some of the maneuvers I really want to do. Um, I would love to cross this river and do a shock attack, but I don't know how strong these guys are or how dug in they are. But anyway, I'm gonna call it here. It's getting interesting. I'm having fun anyway. Hopefully it's at least mildly entertaining for you all. But I'll see you guys next time when we talk about May 21. Take care, everyone. Bye.